Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexa, if you didn't know, and if you did, hi, my name is still Alexa. Thank you so much for tuning in today and giving me your time. I come to you with a very exciting video of my August favorites. I think I did one favorites video like 4 years ago when I first started this channel, and I was going through my old videos and like deleting the ones that I had no business having on my channel anymore. And I saw it and I watched it and it was just like cringe city. So new and improved favorites video. Let's begin. Hold on to your hats and I hope you're ready because it's a good one. I have broken it up into several categories. So we've got beauty, books, analog. By analog, I mean like things to do with writing. So planning, journaling, etc. Then I have homeware and concepts and hobbies, which I think I can group them. Concepts, things I'd like to do, stuff like that. We're gonna start with beauty first, which, considering like everything else I have on my August favorites list, I find that this is almost like the most boring category. Oops. But I've still got some pretty good products on here to recommend. I've got two blushes, both from Huda Beauty actually. One of them is a liquid blush. This is the shade Black Cherry, and a powder blush in the shade Berry Juicy. They work really well as a team. I like doing, obviously, my liquid blush and then powdering and then putting this blush on top of it. It's a really pretty, like very autumnal. That's kind of why I was leaning towards these, especially in the tail end of the month. Next, I've got two eyebrow products. I've actually been using this Maybelline Express Brow eyebrow pencil for a couple of months now, but I had to buy a new one and I accidentally picked up black brown instead of cool brown. And let me tell you what, I'm never going back because this is so much better. I find that the shade suits me so much better, and I've been using this Pixie Brow Duo in the shade Deep Brunette, and I'm just using the eyebrow gel as like an over top. So those, again, work really well as a team. Yay, teamwork! Next are two Glisten Cosmetics products. I can't have a monthly favorites and not include my favorite brand of makeup. So I've got the Spectra pencil in the shade Red. I've been really loving a red waterline. I think it looks like kind of crazy, but also super sexy. I love it. And something that actually, again, they pair perfectly together. I mean, red and green is a fantastic combo. This is the shade Alien. Look at that, please. It's like, this is Alien, you know? This is the most perfectly named shade. Next, I have a mascara. This was sent to me by Too Faced. It's called the Ribbon Wrapped Lash Mascara. Holy moly, let me tell you, I have issues with mascaras because if the formula is too thin, my curl doesn't hold and it doesn't coat my lashes. So I need like a really thick mascara. I'm a big fan of the Maybelline Sky High. It's quite similar to this, but I have to say the Too Faced one is almost thicker. And it, like, I don't know. It's like clumpy, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Like, I really like when mascara really crowds at the root and then you can like almost blend it upwards. I hope that makes a lick of sense. Last but certainly not least is the Sushi Glow Bloody Tint in the shade Lilith. I find that I always use this more when it like gets a little bit cooler outside because it is the perfect blood red shade. And as someone who struggles with wearing lipstick for a long period of time, because I'm like a chapstick slash lip balm girly to the end, having a tint that stays on for a really long time, even through like various applications of lip balm, that's a winner, baby. Oh my God, I have to show you guys how cute macaroni looks. What a baby. Oh my God. He ate the biggest piece of plastic ever and then began to choke on it, and then I couldn't get down his little throat in time. So he swallowed it, and I called the vet and they're like, yeah, you need to sift through his shit if he poops. If not, bring him here. I am quite concerned, I'm not gonna lie. Next category, we're talking about books. I'm gonna tell you my #1 book that I read in the month of August, and I'm gonna tell you my favorite genre of book that I've been reading in the month of August. Ah, I love that. Favorite book, The Night and the Moth. Oh, it made me like blush multiple times. Not even the part where they like finally get together, but it's like the yearning. The yearning drove me fucking nuts. It was a 4.5 out of 5, I have to say, because I felt like the ending was like, for me, really rushed. Like all of a sudden it was just like, it was, I got whiplash from it, and then the book was done. So I wish there would have been like another chapter, or made the chapter a little bit longer just to kind of explain what the fuck is going on. But I am very pumped for the second book. My favorite genre of book that I have been reading has been thriller. The only thriller books that I had read before, like literally this month, were the D.I. Kalinaw book series. I don't know if anyone has heard of this, like The Perfect Remains, Perfect, I think Perfect Crime, and then the latest one is called like One for Sorrow. It was, I mean, that's one of my favorite book series ever. And I think there is at some point one more coming out. Fingers crossed. So this month I was actually reading a lot of Frida McFadden. I hadn't heard of her since before this month, and I got a bunch of her books and I really liked them. They were like one sitting reads, which I really appreciated. So there were a few days when all I did was just read her books. I think just in one go, just without even getting up to go pee, just read it through. I also read a Riley Sager book, House Across the Lake, which I also really enjoyed. Moving on to the next category, we're doing homeware. Hello. I went to IKEA with Mom yesterday, and we both got this blanket, and one side is like black and then white. I mean, it's both black and white, but you know what I mean, it's reversed. How cute is this? I'm obsessed. And it's very soft. I just got it out of the dryer specifically so I could add it in this video. My second favorite for homeware is this cauldron mug. I feel like the Wicked Witch of the East. The Wicked Witch of the East! Whenever I drink from it. I got it from Amazon actually. It was like 20 euros. I'll link this in the description if you're interested in buying cauldron mug, but you can also just put in cauldron mug and it'll all come up. And the next thing is these cute pillows. Obviously, I have already started decorating a little bit, but to be fair, this is like the only thing I have done, and my friend was already like, you need to calm down, like that's far too much. And like, whatever. I got these actually also from Amazon. I will also link them. They have them as ghosts as well, but I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to like see the pattern properly. That is it for homeware. The next is the category I'm calling analogue. I made a few Louise Carmen inspired journals this month, which is also a really fun activity. I made 3 of them, one A5 and 2 in the A6 size. So the A5 one is already notebooks that I had and had been using. This is completely new. So the reason I want to talk about this one specifically is because I'm calling this my sunshine journal, and I know that sounds like really lame, but basically it is here to like consistently inspire me and like bring me back when I'm having a rough day, basically. What I have done is it has 4 journals in it, and I've decorated each of them with like some scrapbooking, kind of relating to what could be inside. I've been using the first one as just like a kind of daily page. So I'll almost use this like a diary, just to kind of reflect on the good things that happen in the day, like processing maybe negative things that happened, how I'm like dealing with certain stressors and stuff like that. The second one is an ideas journal, so I'm just using it for like concepts for creative projects or stuff like that, just to keep kind of my brain creatively on the go. The third one is so far my favorite journal. I'm using this for writing ideas, any books that I want to read, like self-betterment, but in a literary sense. And then this last one is just like a commonplace, things I'm observing, drawings, stuff like that. So that is my sunshine journal. Next, I would like to talk about my favorite pen. I have it in 2 different colors. This is the Energel Liquid Gel Ink. It has a metal tip and is 0.7 millimeters. I love writing in non-black or blue. It makes it feel almost like more special. The final thing for my analog category is my new cloth and paper planner. I am so excited about this. I love a good planner. I use a planner every year, but I've been wanting to switch from the planner that I had to a new one. And I thought one that I could almost like help decorate and make my own a little bit easier than the planner that I had been using. Would make it more fun, but also easier to use for me because I'm like it's like catching my eye. That's why I also really like the vinyl cover. They can see inside of it and it'll remind me to use the planner. Now we're moving on to concepts and kind of hobbies, although it's more just things that like I find positive that I want to do. The first thing, just generally as a concept, I think self-betterment. Everyone at the minute, if you look on like TikTok, for example, or at least on my For You page, people are looking for ways to improve themselves, and kind of step out of this. Yes. And step out of this like chronically online almost phase. I myself have also been part of that. Like there had been days where all I would do was sit on my fucking phone and watch TikTok for like hours. First of all, huge waste of time. But second, like what does that do to your brain? You know? Like I found that I was just having like trouble remembering things correctly or like retaining information properly. Kind of stepping away from that and almost kind of documenting life in an analog way, like putting paper to pen, and instead of using a laptop or an iPad or something like that. Not to say that I don't use a laptop or an iPad, I use both. Like I'm also not watching TV as much because I'm reading more. So just kind of picking things that are going to be most beneficial for your self-betterment. I know I just touched upon like documenting your life in an analog way. I think there's something so like almost rich in that. Like it makes it so much more special. I think it's much more valuable to then, for example, I don't know, you take a picture, 2 pictures, you print them out and you like journal about it or you write about them. just documenting things in a way that isn't purely online is what I'm trying to say. The next one is definitely tied into the self-betterment thing. The trend of building a personal curriculum, I love it. I love it. I think it's so cool. Personally, a big fan of learning. I love learning. I love education. I studied education. So seeing that made my heart very, very happy. I did design myself a personal curriculum, which I'm really excited to start. Actually starting on the 1st of September. But I'm planning on making a very detailed video on that. So I think I'm doing it on TikTok, which means I will link it down below. I'm very excited for it. I think it's gonna be great, and I think it's gonna teach me a lot if I stick to it. That's the only issue. It completely just depends on if you're willing to stick to it. So I hope I have the time and also the energy and the want to do it also later, because I have the want right now, obviously, but I hope I have it later too. The next concept is autumn. I feel like I don't need to say anything else for that. It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite season by far. I love it when the leaves all turn different colors. I love like thriller and horror. I love spooky things. I love just the vibe when it's a little bit cooler outside and the leaves crunch under your feet. I'm so excited. So the concept of autumn had to be included, although it'll probably be included again next month, because next month is even more autumn. That is the end of Alexa's monthly favorites. As macaroni is a part of my household, it was only right for him to get his own monthly favorites segment of the video. So get ready. It's time for Macaroni's monthly favorites. My Shayla! We've only got 3 things. This is Mr. Octopus. He fucking loves this thing. This is actually a dog toy. Got it at the store where I get all of his food from, and he loves it. Like, he has literally torn him a new asshole. Yeah. Mr. Octopus is a monthly favorite. Second monthly favorite is another toy. This is a catnip caterpillar. He also loves this thing. I don't think he understands what catnip really kind of does. He just likes chewing on it, and then he runs around. So the third and final monthly favorite for Macaroni actually has a little bit of a backstory. I live on the 3rd floor and I don't have a balcony. I do have pretty big windows, but there's no way except for on the kitchen counter for him to get up to look down. But he really wants to kind of interact with the outside world, I guess. So he keeps sitting on the floor and looking up to the window. And so I was always under the impression, okay, he's seeing something. And I sat down with him and I looked up and it was literally just sky, and it made me so sad because I knew he really, really wanted to see. So I got him this like suction cup bed that goes onto the window. He loves it. He loves it. He spends so much time up there just napping or looking at the birds, looking at the people. It's very nice and very heartwarming to see, and I'm extremely glad that I ended up buying it. I was a little worried that it would just fall off, but it's actually incredibly sturdy. I will also post the link into the description box below, just in case anyone was interested in buying one for their cat. So that concludes mine and Macaroni's monthly favorites. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you stuck around to the end, thank you. This is quite lengthy. I have a lot of favorites. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe a comment. Share it to your friends, family, pets, and neighbors. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for semi-regular videos. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Thank you so much for giving me your time today, and I will see you in the next video.